Chosen ones, speak this ancient mantra. It turns suffering into superpower. There are ancient truths buried so deep within us that most of humanity has forgotten they exist. But you, the chosen one, you feel the stirring. You know that somewhere in the silence between your thoughts, there is a power waiting to be reclaimed. You know that the pain you have endured was not random. It was preparation. It was the sacred fire that forges those rare souls brave enough to awaken. And today, I will remind you of something almost no one else will tell you. There is an ancient mantra, hidden for centuries, that when spoken from the depths of your being, has the power to turn every ounce of your suffering into pure, unstoppable superpower. This is not a metaphor. This is a technology of spirit, something as real as breath, as potent as electricity, as transformative as fire. The first thing you must understand is that suffering is not punishment. It never was. We are taught to fear our pain, to numb it, to run from it. But the ancient ones knew differently. They knew that suffering was a raw material, a sacred energy that, if approached correctly, could be transmuted into divine strength. They understood that life would break us down not to destroy us, but to soften the shell of ego so that the soul could emerge, radiant and limitless. The mantra I will share is the key that unlocks this alchemy. It does not remove suffering. It transforms it. It does not erase the past. It rewrites the meaning of the past, turning every wound into a source of wisdom, every scar into a badge of honor.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
But before I share it, I must ask you something. And I want you to answer not from your mind, but from the deepest part of your heart. Are you willing to see your pain differently? Are you willing to believe, even for a moment, that everything you have endured was not a curse, but a calling? Because if you are, then what I am about to reveal will not just change your life, it will awaken you to a life you never even dreamed was possible. We have been conditioned to believe that strength comes from avoidance, from pretending we are untouched by hardship. But true strength, the kind that moves mountains, that bends reality to the will of the soul, comes from embracing our wounds fully, fiercely, without shame. It comes from standing in the ashes of what we thought we needed and declaring, I am still here. I am greater than anything that tried to break me. The ancient mantra is a vessel for this declaration. It is not a prayer for rescue. It is a roar of sovereignty, a command to the universe that you will no longer be defined by what hurt you, but by what you choose to become. The mantra is simple, yet its power is infinite. It was whispered by sages who lived through exile, through betrayal, through loss beyond imagining. It was carried by warriors into battles they knew they might not survive. It was sung by mystics who journeyed into the dark night of the soul and returned illuminated. And now it comes to you because you are ready. The mantra is this: I claim the fire within my pain and I rise anew. Speak it aloud. Whisper it if you must. Roar it if you can. But feel it vibrate through every cell of your body. Say it not as a wish, but as a truth that has already been written into the fabric of who you are. Say it until your suffering bows before you. Say it until your past transforms into a ladder that lifts you higher than you ever thought you could climb. I want you to think about this. If every painful moment you have lived was actually storing energy for you, energy that you can now release and harness, how powerful are you really? How unstoppable would you become if you stopped hiding from your wounds and started wielding them like sacred weapons? Can you even begin to imagine the life that would unfold if you spoke this mantra every day, breathing your power back into your body, claiming your throne in the kingdom of your own soul? When you speak these words, you are not just affirming a new belief. You are activating ancient codes within your DNA, codes that have lain dormant, waiting for the moment you would be courageous enough to rise. You are telling every cell, every atom, every frequency of your being that you are no longer chained to the narratives of suffering. You are the alchemist now. You are the one who turns grief into gold, despair into determination, heartbreak into holy fire. This is not theory. This is practice. This is a daily discipline, a sacred devotion. You do not speak the mantra once and expect the world to fall at your feet. You speak it every morning when doubt tries to creep in. You speak it every night when memories threaten to pull you under. You speak it until your very breath carries the vibration of victory, until your very presence shifts the energy of every room you enter. We must become relentless in our self-remembrance. The world will try to make you forget. Society will try to convince you that you are broken, that you are powerless, that you are defined by your wounds. But you are not. You are defined by the power you choose to claim from those wounds. You are defined by the light you summon from your darkest nights. You are defined by the love you dare to give yourself when the world offers only judgment. I am not here to sell you a fantasy. I am here to remind you of a reality more magnificent and more demanding than anything you have been taught to expect. You are being called to greatness, not comfort. You are being called to mastery, not mediocrity. The ancient mantra is your ally, your sword, your shield. But it is you who must wield it. It is you who must decide every day to speak your power into existence. So I ask you now, with all the gravity this moment deserves, will you continue to suffer unconsciously, letting pain define you? Or will you rise, chosen one, and claim the fire within your pain? Will you speak the words that turn your suffering into your superpower, and in doing so change not only your life, but the lives of all who witness your rise? The choice has always been yours. The power has always been yours. And now the ancient mantra is yours as well. The hidden power of the ancient mantra, how suffering becomes lightning fuel. When we begin to truly work with the ancient mantra, something extraordinary happens. We stop seeing suffering as an obstacle and start seeing it as an accelerant. We realize that everything designed to break us can actually be used to build us, to fortify us, to launch us into dimensions of power and wisdom that we could never have reached otherwise. The pain becomes lightning fuel, but only if we know how to harness it. Only if we are willing to stand unwavering in front of the storms of life and say, with the full force of our being, I claim the fire within my pain, and I rise anew. Every time we speak it, we are not just affirming something, we are transforming something inside us at the cellular, energetic, even cosmic level. You must understand, energy is never lost. It only changes form. The pain you have endured still holds massive amounts of energy locked inside it. Most people allow that energy to rot, to poison them from within, because they refuse to face it, to feel it, to transmute it. They become prisoners of their unprocessed emotions. But you are not most people. You are chosen. You are here to do what few dare to do, to alchemize, to turn the heavy lead of suffering into the pure gold of power. And the mantra is the crucible in which this alchemy takes place. Every time you speak it, you are giving a command to your subconscious mind, which is the real architect of your reality. You are instructing it to rewire your relationship with pain. Instead of associating suffering with victimhood, you begin to associate it with empowerment. Instead of seeing yourself as wounded, you see yourself as initiated. Instead of carrying the weight of your past as a burden, you carry it as a badge of honor. This shift is not merely psychological. It changes your frequency. It changes the signal you broadcast into the quantum field. And reality, being the mirror that it is, must respond. I want you to sit with this question, not casually, but as if your future depends on it. What if my suffering was never meant to destroy me but to awaken me? What if every heartbreak, every betrayal, every loss was a sacred teacher, training me for the destiny I secretly asked for before I even came into this life? Can you feel how radically your perspective, and therefore your power, shifts when you entertain this possibility, even for a moment? This is not just positive thinking. This is quantum thinking. This is spiritual physics. Let me offer you a deeper practice now. When you feel the sting of old wounds rising up, whether triggered by a memory, a person, or a situation, do not run. Do not numb. Instead, pause. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe deeply and speak the mantra, "I claim the fire within my pain and I rise anew." Visualize the pain as a dense, dark energy within you. With each breath, with each repetition of the mantra, see that darkness begin to glow, to ignite, to transform into pure golden light, flooding every corner of your being with strength, courage, and wisdom. This is the sacred work of the chosen ones. We do not avoid suffering, we transform it. We do not curse our wounds. We bless them, for they have made us who we are. And in doing so, we become unbreakable, not because we are untouched by pain, but because we have mastered it, because we have learned to ride the lightning rather than be struck down by it. You will notice something extraordinary as you continue this practice. The things that once triggered you will lose their power over you. The memories that once haunted you will become sources of gratitude. Challenges that would have once overwhelmed you will now invigorate you. People will look at you and sense something different, something magnetic, something indestructible. They will not be able to name it, but they will feel it, the presence of one who has turned suffering into superpower. And there's something even more profound. As you transmute your own pain, you begin to affect others simply by your presence. Your frequency becomes a healing force. Without even trying, you become a catalyst for others to remember their own forgotten power. You become a living mantra, a walking embodiment of transformation. Your very existence becomes a beacon for those still trapped in their pain, showing them what is possible. This is how chosen ones change the world, not by preaching, not by forcing, but by being. But remember, this is a journey, not a moment. It requires daily devotion. It requires choosing, again and again, to speak the mantra even when it feels like nothing is changing, especially then. Because the deepest shifts often happen beneath the surface, invisible at first, but inevitable if we persist. One day, you will wake up and realize that you no longer recognize the person you once were, the one who was crushed by pain. You will realize that you have become something entirely new, something forged in the sacred fires of your own willingness to transform. So I ask you now, with all the gravity and love I can summon, will you run from your pain, or will you claim the fire within it? Will you let the storms of life scatter you, or will you ride their winds to heights you never imagined? Will you speak the ancient mantra not just with your voice, but with your actions, your choices, your very life? The world does not need more people who have never suffered. It needs more people who have suffered and turned that suffering into wisdom, compassion, and unstoppable power. It needs you, chosen one. It needs the version of you that rises from the ashes and becomes a living testament to the truth that nothing, and I mean nothing, can hold back a soul that has chosen to claim its fire. The mantra is your torch. The path is before you, and the time is now. The sacred science of words, why this mantra bends reality. When we speak, we are not merely making sounds, we are casting spells. We are shaping energy. We are bending the invisible forces that shape our lives. Ancient civilizations understood this truth profoundly. They guarded mantras, words of power, not because they were superstitious, but because they knew that language is the architect of reality. And now, you chosen one, are being reintroduced to this sacred science. The mantra you have been given, "I claim the fire within my pain, and I rise anew," is not just poetry. It is a tool for bending the very fabric of existence toward your highest destiny. You must understand that every word carries a vibration. When you speak, you are broadcasting a frequency into the quantum field, and that field responds with mathematical precision. Most people speak unconsciously, flooding the field with frequencies of fear, lack, anger, and regret. They wonder why their lives reflect chaos and suffering, but they do not see that they themselves are the broadcasters. But you and I, we are not here to live unconsciously. We are here to master the sacred science of words. We are here to speak intentionally, to breathe life into visions that elevate not only ourselves but the entire collective consciousness. The ancient mantra works because it encodes multiple layers of power into a single utterance. When you say "I claim," you are asserting sovereignty. You are declaring that you are no longer a passive participant in your life, but an active creator. When you say "the fire within my pain," you are acknowledging the raw energy contained in your suffering, refusing to waste it or be victimized by it. And when you say "I rise anew," you are invoking the principle of resurrection, the sacred cycle of death and rebirth, the truth that no matter how many times you fall, you can always rise greater, stronger, more luminous than before. This is why the mantra bends reality, because it aligns you with the deepest laws of creation. It rewires your identity at its core. And identity is destiny. The universe does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. When you speak the mantra with full presence, you are not asking life to be different, you are becoming different. You are radiating a frequency so potent, so coherent, that the quantum field must reorganize itself around you. Life begins to mirror your inner transformation with outer opportunities, synchronicities, breakthroughs. I want you to sit with this question, slowly, carefully. What reality is my current language creating? If a stranger followed me around for a week and wrote down everything I said to myself, to others, what kind of world would they predict I am building? Would it be a world of empowerment or a world of limitation? A world of expansion or a world of fear? This is not a question to rush past. It is a mirror. It is a call to radical self-awareness. You see, it is not enough to speak the mantra once and then spend the rest of the day speaking words of doubt, self-criticism, and defeat. The mantra must become the foundation of a new language, a new way of being. Every word you speak from now on must be chosen as carefully as a master artist chooses each brushstroke. Every word must be an act of creation, not destruction. This does not mean you must be perfect. It means you must be conscious. It means catching yourself when you slip into old patterns of speech and choosing again. It means building a new rhythm of language, a new current of vibration that supports the life you are calling into existence. It means speaking life into your dreams even when they seem distant, speaking victory into your challenges even when they seem overwhelming, speaking love into your heart even when it feels broken. The sacred science of words is not a trick. It is not a hack. It is the original magic. Long before technology, long before science as we know it, the ancients knew that sound and intention shaped reality. They built temples designed to amplify the spoken word. They used mantras to heal, to summon rain, to protect their people. They understood what we are only beginning to remember, that the universe itself is a living consciousness, and it listens, not to your hopes alone, but to your vibration, to your frequency, to your words. And so I invite you now, as a true initiate of this path, to treat your words as sacred, to speak the mantra not just with your mouth, but with your entire being. To let every syllable be a hammer striking the anvil of destiny, forging a new reality in the fires of your own awakened power. This is the way of the chosen ones. This is the path of true mastery, and it begins, as always, with a single breath, a single word, A single choice made with total consciousness. The final awakening, living as the alchemist of your own destiny. There comes a point on this path where you no longer need to convince yourself. The mantra is not something you repeat, it becomes what you are. You realize that you are no longer the one seeking power, you are power. You are no longer the one trying to heal, you are wholeness. You are no longer the one trapped in the cycle of suffering, you are the master of the cycle. The alchemist who turns every experience, no matter how dark, into pure gold. This is the final awakening, the moment you fully step into your role as the creator of your destiny. Living as the alchemist of your own destiny means that nothing is wasted. Every emotion, every memory, every challenge becomes material for creation. It means you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start declaring, "How will I use this to rise higher?" It means you recognize that every scar is a source of wisdom, every tear a baptism into deeper compassion, every fall a rehearsal for a greater ascent. You no longer resist life, you dance with it. You no longer fear change, you become the change. I want you to imagine this. What if every single thing that has ever happened to you, the betrayals, the losses, the heartbreaks, was actually conspiring to carve you into a vessel strong enough to carry your true purpose? What if the pain you thought would break you was actually the sculptor's chisel, shaping you into a masterpiece that no easy life could have ever produced? Can you feel the shift in your heart when you entertain this idea, not as a theory, but as a living, breathing truth? When we live at this level, we become unstoppable, not because we never fall, but because we know how to rise. We become magnetic not because we chase, but because we embody. We become powerful not because we dominate, but because we align. The ancient mantra is not just a tool anymore, it is the breath that carries us, the rhythm that moves through every word, every step, every dream we dare to bring into the world. But mastery demands vigilance. It demands that we stay awake, that we guard the gates of our mind and heart with fierce love. It demands that we notice when old patterns try to sneak back in the temptation to see ourselves as victims. The urge to blame, the habit of shrinking in the face of fear, and that we choose, again and again, to speak the higher truth. I claim the fire within my pain and I rise anew. This is not a one-time declaration. It is the drumbeat of a lifetime. And as we live this way, something extraordinary happens. Reality begins to bend around us. Opportunities find us. Allies are drawn to us. Synchronicities multiply. Life stops being a series of random events and becomes a symphony we are co-composing with the infinite. We realize that destiny is not a fixed path laid out for us. It is the garden we cultivate with every breath, every thought, every act of courageous authenticity. So I ask you now, at the threshold of your full awakening, will you accept the sacred responsibility that comes with being a creator? Will you honor the power that has always lived within you, now fully activated by your choice to live consciously? Will you allow your life to be the ultimate work of art, the grand testament to the truth that no suffering is ever wasted, no pain is ever meaningless, unless we choose to leave it untransformed? The world is not waiting for more followers. It is waiting for creators. It is waiting for you. The you who is no longer trapped in old identities. The you who speaks life into existence. The you who turns wounds into wisdom, fear into fuel, dreams into destiny. You have everything you need. You always have. The ancient ones are smiling. The universe is listening. The fire is already burning within you. Now breathe it, speak it, live it. You are the alchemist. You are the chosen one. Your destiny is waiting.